Okay, you're not too old. You're just too aware of what other people might think, and that could be what is keeping you small. In this video, I want to talk about why the fear of starting YouTube seems to hit harder after we turn 50 years old. So, number one, we've got the worry about judgment from friends or family or younger audiences. Like, what will people think? Will people roll their eyes? Will they think that, like, I'm a bit cringy? If you have kids, will they think you're cringy? Well, if they do think you're cringy because you're starting a YouTube video, well, how is that different from anything else that you have done in your later years that is new, and at first you're not very good at it? Like, yeah, we're all a little bit cringy when we start new things, and I don't think that that is anything to do with age, but have you ever let your kids thinking that you're cringy stop you from doing something? Yeah, they think our dancing is cringy. My dancing is cringy, but does that stop me from having a cringy good time when I'm at a party and I just want to cut loose to my favorite 80s song? No, like and I'm owning it. I'm owning it. I can tell you that. Do I want to watch myself on video dancing? No, I don't. But that is not making YouTube videos. Dancing and making YouTube videos is different, my friend. Okay? So do not be put off by my dancing analogy. Okay. But it can be hard when the people closest to us don't take our creativity seriously. But what I would say to that is, sure, approach it seriously, but approach it also just with a light heart and thinking about what you want to share with the world and the value, know the value that you want to share with other people, because if there's one thing that is for sure, is that people over 50 want to see other people over 50 here on YouTube sharing their experiences, sharing their fears, sharing their challenges, and sharing their successes and the things that they've overcome and what it was like for them, because that's inspirational and that's motivational. But their comfort isn't worth your silence. Surely your dream matters more than their approval. The other thing I would say is that support for you on your YouTube channel journey is going to come from unexpected places. For example, sure, the people closest to you may not understand why you are wanting to start a YouTube channel, but if you've got stories to tell, if you've got things that you want to share with the world, share with your age group, other people, strangers initially, they will see value in what you want to share. Someone across the other side of the world is going to see your video. They might like your video. They might leave you a comment, an encouraging comment, and they may even subscribe to your channel. And you will get some people subscribing to your channel, because ultimately YouTube is a game of starting and not stopping. And if you have the learner's mentality of just trying to do a little bit better every video that you make, you'll get there. You will keep on improving. You will, like what my friends and I are doing, we are building in public. And I'll give you some examples a little bit later on just about our recent live stream experience. But if you watch my channel regularly, you will know that I have been toe dipping in live streaming, and the water is great. We're having a great time. And it's just all good. And we are not without mistakes in our live streaming, our first experiences. Quite on the contrary, we've made quite a few little boo-boos, but we've taken it seriously and we've tried to control all of the controllables before we have hit go live, and we've done all the preparation and all the thinking about the things that we might talk about and what might go wrong and da. But we haven't taken ourselves overly seriously. And if you are one of my friends and you are one of my live streaming friends, and we've been doing some live streams together, I know that you are smiling right now because, yeah, we've just been doing it. We've been making mistakes and blundering our way through and just having fun. So we set out to have fun, and it just means that I think one of the nice, like, secret sources in our fun live streams that we've been doing recently is just that, yeah, we haven't taken ourselves overly seriously or very seriously at all. And, I think that comes through because then we can just, I don't know, just riff off each other and, you know, be a little bit brave and just, having a bit of an attempt at humor and just laugh quite easily. So, yeah, and I think that's a vibe. I think that's a vibe. If I am watching a live stream, I'd rather watch people that were like not too kind of like full of themselves and perfect because I'm not relating to that. So most support will come from unexpected places. And if you see me looking off to the side, I'm just checking my bullet points. So yeah, the kind of that kind of support from people who, have only just gotten to know you through your videos, that hits differently because that is true. I don't know, that's a different kind of feedback. And those people, they don't mind you just being you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be watching your channel. And yeah, they're just not anyone trying to keep you in a box. If you do happen to have anyone in your life that might be wanting to, encourage you to just keep on doing the same old, because we're not dead yet, are we? What about internal doubts like, am I too old or will anyone care? So you are not too old. I'm not sure if you have ventured into looking at many YouTube channels where people are saying, look at me, this is my age, I started a YouTube channel and I'm just having some rip-roaring fun over here. Like there is a bunch of older people doing mighty fine on YouTube who just started last month, last year, 2 years ago, and a lot of them are just crushing it. And I would even say that I don't want to say it's an advantage to keep on waiting because obviously it isn't, but quite a few people who are quite a bit older their channels have been taking off quite quickly. And I think that the older that you get, potentially the fewer people that you see on YouTube. So the ones that we do see, people are embracing them and they are loving that content. So you're not too old and yeah, someone will care. So the thoughts are loud, but they're not true. Like those worries. Am I too old or will anyone else care? Because if you care about telling your story and trying to give value, people will see that. And that's relatable. And that is the kind of realness that we are looking for in our older years. You don't need to be perfect when you do YouTube. You just need to be real. That is like the whole authenticity. If you've watched any of these videos, so many of them talk about authenticity and being authentic. Something else I would add to that is oversharing is not the same as being authentic. And, have you seen the LinkedIn videos where people are crying on camera? Yeah, I don't particularly relate to those kinds of videos. I never really know why people cry on camera because they haven't just been having a tearful moment. It's normally like the camera goes and then like they've decided to turn the camera on. I'm just really not sure about that. So I personally don't know why people would go onto like LinkedIn, for example, and do those kinds of videos because do I want all of my connections on LinkedIn and my employer or my past employer or future employers, because sometimes people are making those videos when they're getting really stressed in their jobs or the business that they own and run is in trouble. And I just don't think it's a good look to put that kind of content out there, but each to their own. So we're thinking now about the discomfort of learning something new. And to that, I would say, think about every other time that you have had to learn new things, and that was not without discomfort, right? Like a great deal of discomfort, probably. And if we think about other analogies, like, for example, a diamond, like the journey of a diamond from the beginning to the sparkly diamond, or the life cycle of a monarch butterfly, or think about the last time that you did a course and you made it through the course, you graduated, you got the diploma or the certificate, or the last time even that you changed careers and or retrained and you did something new. Lots of discomfort, but you made it. You were a beginner. And then one day you found that you were in unconscious competence. And remember, that's the whole learning stages of when you first start trying to learn something. You don't know everything there is to know about that thing, like unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. Then you look into it a little bit, and then you begin to get some awareness of how much there is to know. So that is called conscious incompetence. You are aware of how much there is to know and how much you don't know right now. Then you get to know more. And that might be, for example, in the driving analogy, where now you've got your driver's license, you are called consciously competent, and you can drive, but you still have to think about like each of your micro actions, like you're still very hyper aware. And then after that, you go into unconscious competence, where you're just driving away. And sometimes, which is not great, but you then might find yourself at your destination and you'll just think, oh, I'm here already. Did that just happen? But that's another topic, and just a little reminder that we all need to stay hyper alert and everything, and just not be distracted while we're driving. But so the reality is that people care more about your honesty than your age. That's for sure. That is what YouTube is about. And that is what people are looking for on YouTube. They're looking for relatability and just someone I like down to earth. I quite like that as an expression. But you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. And let's be honest, if you go online, you're going to be vulnerable. That feels vulnerable, okay? You're going to think to yourself, what if I look awkward on camera? You know what? You're going to feel awkward on camera. You're probably going to look awkward on camera. That's okay. That is okay because, okay, what is the word? Newsflash. All of us, when we start on YouTube, we feel and look awkward on camera, and it doesn't go away even after, 50 videos, 100 videos. I even think, to be honest, I'm sure Sean Cannell, before he goes on camera, I'm sure that he feels some level of like awkwardness and kind of like some intrepidness, but you just press record and you just kind of like get into it. What if I post and no one watches? Well, newsflash again, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. No one will be watching. And that is a blessing in disguise, let me tell you, because it should let you just relax about it and just think, you know what, I'm just making my first few videos. I'm going to watch my videos after I publish them. I'm going to have a look at what I think went well. What did I do well? Where can I improve? You're going to learn a little bit of editing, some really basic editing. But if you really don't want to learn any basic editing when you first start making your videos, don't do any editing. If that is going to stop you, don't let it stop you, okay? The lack of editing, the editing that you do not plan to do, just post the videos. I've got friends who have got the same amount of subscribers as I've got, and at the time of making this video, I'm on 311 subscribers. And, you know, like I've got friends who don't edit their videos at all. And that's okay. That's okay, because they are just getting into it and they're doing it regardless of feeling all these constraints about they must have this, they must have that. No, just get started. And if you don't want to edit, don't edit. Just make the videos. Being a bit fearful is normal, but honestly, do not let it hold you back, because most people, they're not judging you, they're judging themselves. And I heard Chase Hughes, I don't know if you know him, he is a big swinging YouTuber here, very nice guy here on YouTube. And one of the things that he was being asked about recently is, does he read his comments? And he said, no, I don't read my comments, because if I come across a negative comment, he goes, first of all, I've never read a negative comment from someone more successful than me. So just bear that in mind, okay? It's not too late. You're not alone. The idea that YouTube could just be for Gen Z is 1,000% outdated, because we are older people. We're here on YouTube and we're loving it. We are loving it. If you're an older person here on YouTube and you are loving it, please, okay, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. Please put a diamond, put a gem in the comments. If you're an older creator and you are just loving being on YouTube and, you know, starting whatever purpose that you have got for your YouTube channel, you've started it and you are just out there rocking and rolling, put a gem, please, if you would, in the comments. More and more creators over 50 are showing up. My battery is running out with my bullet points on it, so I better get on with it. And yeah, you're not behind, you're right on time. Don't keep waiting. Judgment fades fast. If someone judges you, they won't remember you by the morning. The internet moves fast, and so do people, and the fear of lasting embarrassment, truly, is mostly in your head. It's going to pass, and you don't even know who Sally Pants is, 1, 2, 3. No one cares. Oh my God, my whole thing has just now died. So we've covered the fear of judgment from people that you know. The answer to that is tell as few people as you need to tell. One of my friends was saying just yesterday on our live stream that her husband and son are the only people that she has told, and I think she said as well that she has told a couple of extended family members, but she said, you know, they're not really super interested, which is a fact. I know that I have, you know, might have told some extended family members as well, and they don't even ask me what my channel name is. And on the one hand, you could say, oh, okay, that's a bit of an ego blow, but it's a blessing in disguise, because I do not need family members asking me how many subscribers I've got today. And then in a week's time, how many subscribers have I got now? Because it doesn't work like that. And you cannot start YouTube and be obsessed with the numbers of subscribers. And that's not even to say, remember, if you get 5 views, and forget about the amount of minutes that people are watching your video for, if you get 5 views on a video, 5 people have clicked on your thumbnail and they have watched part of your video or all of your video. Now, when did 5 people being interested in anything that we had to say, when was that not good enough? So one day, if you keep on making videos, you will have 10 views, 50 views, 100 views or more. And that is a lot of people. If you imagine 100 people in a room, that is how many people have watched part of your video. There is something about your thumbnail, about your title, about the idea of your video that 100 people have clicked on your video and they've watched at least a part of that video. So never lose sight of that, because YouTube can be incredibly seductive is the word that I'm thinking of. And the reason why I say seductive is because, first of all, you think that no one is going to watch your video, and then someone is going to watch at least a part of your video. And then, so then one person starts watching your video, 5, 10 people, and then you start comparing yourself to other people and be thinking, oh my goodness, that person's getting 2,000 views on their video. And then you're going to be thinking about how crap you are, and it's just quite the mind game. So to me, the best thing about YouTube is the community that you will build. If you have got a spirit, if you've got a goal of meeting new people on YouTube, not in a creepy way, in a nice, fun, innocent, kind of way. If you have got a goal of meeting new friends on YouTube, and if you are going to support other creators, and that is actually how you meet new people and you start new friendships. Well, and that's been my experience anyway. If you are supportive of other people's channels and you have got, really good positive intention towards other people, and if you watch their videos, leave them a meaningful comment that lets them know that you've watched their video and you've actually had a response. You've got a thought that you've had from watching their video. And if you, take the time to mention in a comment, this is what particularly resonated with me, because whatever, it doesn't have to be a long comment, but that comment will stand out to that creator. And you just never know whether one day they will click on your little avatar and actually, they'll see if you are a creator because it's got the subscribers next to your name. And so, if you make videos, they'll see that you are a creator. So, that is a way of just, if you put out some positivity, you might be lucky and get some positivity back. And that is definitely the way that I do see YouTube working quite a lot in our age group. So, So we've talked about the tech thing. Don't worry about the tech thing. Don't worry about, is anyone going to watch your video? Because it's a blessing in disguise when no one is watching your video at the beginning, because that just gives you a little bit of a fighting chance, I think, of just, enthusiastically, when you finish making a video, just start making another video before you've got a chance for just that part of your brain, that sort of knows everything, that comes sort of rushing in, telling you all the reasons, why your video was crap. Because, if you've got good intentions and you do the very best that you can with just making sure that people can see you and making sure that your phone is steady, and, whatever you've got to say, that you just put your story across and just be you and just talk about why you're telling that particular story, people will love it. Okay, so that's the whole vibe of us over 50s here on YouTube. We're out there and we are loving it. So, final considerations, I would say, don't let being over 50 and knowing all the things that our over 50-year-old brains know at this point in life, don't let all that stuff stop you from starting YouTube if you want to start on YouTube, because it is a really amazing journey. It's a really fun thing to do just on a live stream. Actually, I will touch on the live streams, actually. I said I would, but just on a live stream that I did with some friends this last weekend, we were talking about how has been on YouTube, how has it changed you personally, socially, and professionally. And, a few of the girls said that they are more confident now because the amount that they've learned after making 10, 30, 50, 100 videos compared to where they were a year ago, really gives them, and I agree, it gives us a really big sense of confidence, and it is good for our older brains as well, isn't it? It is good for staving off, the mental health things and the dementia and the Alzheimer's and just all of those sort of brain degenerative things. So it's about carrying on learning stuff. Like, we are not dead yet. We are learning and we are keeping our brains as healthy as we can. And we're making new friendships. And yeah, touched on the live streams. So some of the things that went wrong, if you like, for my friends and I, when we've been doing some group live streams together, after none of us have done group live streams together, but the first one, not all of us hit to live stream to our YouTube channels, because there was quite a few things that we had to put into place and make a new account and do this thing or do that thing. So not all of us did that bit. I know for me, my audio, I did not get my audio right. I'd practiced on my audio before I went onto our live stream. And then for some reason, when I put on the headphones and started the live stream, all I could hear was my own voice, and it was really strange and it put me off. And I had to hear the audio from the laptop until about 15 minutes into the live stream. I just took my headphones off because I'm like, you know what? This isn't working. And, one of the girls got onto the live stream and, she was in her car, and a couple of times I think maybe it was like her Bluetooth headphones might have dropped out, or because she was being driven, so she wasn't doing the driving, but maybe they went through maybe a couple of black spots or something like that. So she dropped out. But you know what? She just opened up her email, clicked on the link, and she came straight back in, and we just rolled with it. And I don't know, we've had a few little things like that, and it has been fine. And I think the key to the live streaming fun that we've been having, and I would say the success of our live streams, that is not to kind of try and be full of myself or saying that we were perfect or anything like that, but actually live streams by their very nature are designed to be imperfect and to just be organic and interactive. So when you are in that kind of environment, man, you've got very little control in a way, and that's got its own energy too. So, and I'm sure if you are one of my friends and you have been on, one of our live streams recently, feel free to mention in the comments, how I think that we have taken the task, if you like, seriously, and we've tried to control the controllables, but we haven't taken ourselves too seriously on the live stream. And that's just let us relax, I think, and just have fun with it, and just to go with the whole flow of everything. So that is it, my friend. Do not let, our over 50-year-old heads, talk us out of starting a YouTube channel. If you want to start a YouTube channel, truly just get into it. Keep on hanging out with, me and my friends, because, we are all in the same community here. And just watch us make mistakes and, take a look at some of our earlier videos and just see the kind of mistakes that we were making when we first started our channels, and the kinds of mistakes that we're still making. I know already that some of my self-corrections, I'm not going to edit out of this video, because I just think that this is the kind of video it is where literally my bullet points have disappeared from my computer because I didn't plug my laptop charger in. So, I just had to remember the other stuff the other bullet points, but that's fine because I think I've been rambling for long enough. But you get the gist, my friend. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you got something out of this, and I hope that you are, a step closer to actually making your dream a reality, because, my friend, all it takes is for you to make one YouTube video and you are a YouTuber, a big old grown-up YouTuber. And I don't think people regret being on YouTube. I haven't heard anybody, but if you know anyone that regrets being on YouTube, by all means, share it. Even though, is that like a little bit of a negative thing? But no, this is real life. This is real life. But thank you for watching this video. Please ask me any questions if you've got any in the comments. I really hope that this video has moved you into taking some action and starting your channel, because have a think about how many years you have spent thinking and wanting to start a YouTube channel. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be the last one. And yeah, if it is the last one, maybe pop back and tell me sometime, because I would love to hear about that. So thank you, my friend. And yeah, just go and make your video. See you on the next Imperfect gig.